most realistic Labubu cake ever made. Here's how. I'll use cotton candy to make realistic fur. Then I'll use edible paints to add a hidden message on Labubu's foot that can only be seen with a black light. That's right, my cake Labubu is going to pass the light test. And the best part is I'm going to make my cake Labubu's eyes move, just like a real Labubu. I mean, I'm gonna try to do all of this. You think I'm gonna be able to pull it off?
We're about to find out.
My name is Natalie Sideserf, and I make cakes that don't look like cakes. And today, I'm going to make a cake of a Labubu. The first thing I'm gonna do is sculpt Labubu's body out of cake. Then I'll sculpt her hands, feet, and ears out of modeling chocolate. I have been making hyper-realistic cakes for 14 years. Yeah. So I have hand sculpted, stacked, carved, and painted my way through thousands of cakes. And when I start a cake, I know deep down that if I hit a wall, I'm gonna find a way to break through. But today's cake feels different because I have set extremely challenging goals for this one. First, I have always avoided working with cotton candy because it's so difficult, but I'm trying it today. Second, I don't know if painting an edible hidden image on my Labubu's foot is even gonna work. And third, I don't know how I'm gonna make my Labubu's eyes move. I'll be doing a lot of experimenting today. Look, I'm just a little worried that I'm setting myself up for failure. If one of these goals doesn't work out, I'm gonna be really disappointed. But you know what? I don't care. I'm gonna try anyway. I'm feeling a lot of pressure, but if I can pull this off, this cake's gonna be next level. It might be one of the coolest cakes I ever make. All right, let's go. Let's do this. And so far, we're off to a good start. I've got a Labubu body, hands, feet, and ears. So let's move on to my first major challenge, Labubu's eyes and face. To make the eyes, I'm using white chocolate and a large round mold. Chocolate is nice and strong as far as food goes, so I think it's a good choice. As of right now, my plan is to sculpt a Labubu face out of modeling chocolate like a mask. Then maybe I can place these white discs into the eye holes. I need the eyes and the face to be separate so I can try to make a move somehow. Not sure how I'm gonna make a move, but we'll get there. What I do know is I need to make sure that my eyes and my face are completely separate pieces. That way I can find a way to make the eyes move. So I'm sculpting a modeling chocolate Labubu mask, and I am realizing that this is not gonna work. Modeling chocolate is firm, but it never truly hardens. It stays pliable, and I need this mask to keep its shape. Modeling chocolate's just not gonna work. It's not gonna work. So new plan. New plan.
Okay.
I have an idea. This is crazy, I've never done it before, but I'm gonna try to sculpt the face out of clay. Then, once the clay face dries, I can make a mold of it. And then I can fill that mold with chocolate, because chocolate is stronger than modeling chocolate. It'll dry hard. For I think I haven't sculpted with clay in over a decade. I've been using cake all this time. I'm going back to the classics, traditional art media, clay. And let me tell you, working with clay is kind of a dream. The clay keeps its shape, it's easy to smooth. I'm just so used to working with edible materials that are sensitive to temperature. The face is sculpted and it's pretty dry, so now I'm spraying a non-toxic shellac on it. I did this because clay absorbs liquid, so I'm hoping that this shiny shellac is a barrier that keeps the molding material from soaking into the clay. I just spent so much time sculpting this Labubu's face out of clay. I really hope this mold works. While we wait for the mold to set, let's put some clothes on our Labubu. Some Labubus wear clothes, and some don't. Do you wear clothes? Or know someone who does? Well, get yourself some more by heading over to sideserfcakes.com. That's where you can get some Sideserf Cake Studio clothes. Like this shirt of Paige the Notebook. And like this shirt that Labubu is about to wear. That's right. I'm dressing our Labubu up in a Sideserf Cake Studio shirt. I feel like Labubu would be a fan of Mel the Lemon. Mel is super cute. Labubu's gonna wear a Mel the Lemon shirt. That's right, Mel. Labubu's a fan. What a compliment. Mel's a cake, Labubu's now a cake.
I've been a cake.
It's all cake. There's quite a few ways to know if you have a real Labubu or a Lafufu. A Lafufu is a fake Labubu. And one of the ways you can check to see if your Labubu is legit is by doing the light test. You know you have an authentic Labubu if you shine a black light on its foot because a glowing image will show. And I just so happen to have food color that glows under black light. I made a stencil of the image I want on the foot, and I'm brushing this yellow food color onto the foot. And it should react to black light. Now the yellow is looking too yellow, it's not exactly hidden, so I'm painting a thin layer over that yellow food color to try to hide it as best I can. And hopefully that black light effect still works. We're gonna test it out later, but before we do, let's see if that face mold worked. The mold has set, so let's pop the clay face out and see how it looks. Please let this work, please let this work, please let this work. All right, the clay didn't stick. I think spraying that shellac on there worked. I think it looks pretty good. This is so cool. I sculpted the face out of clay, and then I made a mold of it, and now I can make an edible chocolate version of it. This is great. This is great news. This is great news. Ooh, I am so glad that worked. Ooh. All right, I'm filling the mold with chocolate. Now I'm gonna set it aside to cool down.
A few minutes later.
Let's bring it back out. Did I successfully make a chocolate Labubu mask? Oh my, it looks so good. I love it, it's so cute. And it's so clean. It really looks like the face on the toys. It really looks like a real Labubu face. I would not guess that this was chocolate. I would not guess it's edible. I am so happy. This is such a huge win. Okay, woo.
Haha.
Now we gotta figure out how to make the eyes move. Not all Labubu's eyes move, but some of the larger Labubu's eyes do move. And this cake is the size of one of the larger Labubu's, so we gotta make those eyes move. It's just about 15 inches tall, like the real one. This chocolate Labubu mask keeps its shape beautifully, which is very important. But now I've gotta figure out how to add the eyes and then make them move. I did some research and I saw that dolls with moving eyes usually have springs behind the eye. So the spring presses the eyeball against the back of the face, but because it's a spring, there's a little bit of give, so you can move that eye around. Now I want this cake to be 100% edible, so I'm not gonna use a real spring. What can I use instead? What edible material is squishy, but also holds its shape? I've got it. What if I try putting a marshmallow behind the eye? Marshmallows have memory. You smush that marshmallow and it bounces right back. It keeps its shape. It's not exactly like a spring, but it might work. I'm attaching my chocolate eye to the marshmallow, and now I'll place it into my Labubu mask, and now we can test it out. Here's a little bit of blue modeling chocolate that represents the iris. Let's see if we can move it. It works, but there is a little gap. It doesn't fit just right. I think that the marshmallow might work, but I don't think the white chocolate eye is gonna work. The chocolate eye is just too rigid and stiff. I need something soft, but not sticky. Let's try placing edible paper onto the marshmallow. Edible paper's got a little bend to it. It's pretty soft. It's not sticky. Let's give it a go. To test it out, I'm drawing a quick eye with edible marker onto the paper. Now we can put the chocolate mask over top. It seems to fit snug. I don't see any gaps, but can I move the eye? It totally works. It looks so good. I am so happy. I can't believe I figured this out. I am blown away. The edible paper is soft enough to press up against the chocolate mask, and there's no gaps. And the marshmallow creates enough tension that I can move the eye, but it still stays put. Now I'm thinking to myself,
it doesn't get any better than this, right?
Wrong.
it gets better. I can print an eye right onto the edible paper using edible ink. So I made a custom Labubu eye. This design is inspired by the heart eyes that some Labubus have, only instead of hearts, I put peppermint candies inside her eyes. Cake, candy, it's a theme. This is so cute and it's so custom. I love it. I love it so much. I cannot express enough how much I am so excited about this cake. Now I've got to figure out a way to get this edible Labubu mask onto a cake head. There. I need the marshmallow eyes to stay in place, so I'm making a chocolate wall that I'll attach to the back of the mask. You'll see what I mean. As I'm working on this, I'm starting to get a little worried about my cotton candy fur situation. The reason cotton candy is so hard to work with is because once it's taken out of its container, it loses its fluffy texture very quickly. Cotton candy only lasts about 10 to 20 minutes in the open air before it starts to melt. And then it becomes sticky and hard, not fluffy like fur. It's because the cotton candy absorbs the moisture in the air. So adding the cotton candy fur is going to be the very last thing I do on this cake. I just hope I can get the cotton candy on the cake fast enough so it doesn't melt. But I'm gonna try my best. I'm gonna work really fast and fast forward. I am stressed, but I'm also having so much fun with this cake. I mean, the face is really coming together. I can't wait to see it finished. It's time to line up the chocolate mask with the eyes. Oh, it's so cute. It is so cute. I love it. It has custom eyes. I am trying so hard to paint this face as cleanly as I can. I put so much effort in already. I don't want to slack now. I'm just so excited about it. I think it's gonna look like a real Labubu. Instead of just using a real cake board to hold up the head, I'm making a chocolate cake board. That way everything's edible. So I can cut right through the cake and you can just eat it all. Did the cake board need to be edible? No. Am I happy it is? Yes. Am I doing more than I need to for this cake? Maybe. Adding interactive elements to a cake like moving eyes and a blacklight effect is so motivating. If you guys want me to make more crazy cakes like this one, let me know. I love coming up with cake ideas, but I'm just one brain. But you all, you're a lot of brains. And you have some awesome ideas. So let's put all of our brains together and come up with some innovative cake ideas. Tell me your ideas in the comments. And if you're not subscribed, subscribe so you don't miss future cakes. All right, it is finally time to put Labubu together and add fur. All right, it's time for business. We gotta stack Labubu's head onto her body. Labubu's cake head is huge and heavy. The head is so heavy that I'm nervous it's gonna squish the body. To avoid that, these dowels and straws are going to support the weight of the head. This is very similar to what you'd see with the traditional tiered cake. You have to support the top tiers so they don't squish the bottom tiers. The cake head is on and it lines up, looking good. I'm painting the insides of the ears with luster food color because the real Labubu's ears are made with shiny thread.
Something weird happened here.
This is the exact same modeling chocolate that I used to make the shirt earlier, but for some reason the colors don't match. It's like more purple. I've never had this happen to me, but I've heard of things like this happening. The cake has been open to the air, but this more purple modeling chocolate was wrapped up, airtight. Something about the air changed the color of the chocolate. Food color's tricky. I don't know. I've never had this happen. It's crazy. I need to use this modeling chocolate to make the collar of her shirt.
But the colors don't match anymore.
The only thing I can think to do is to just paint the entire shirt one solid color. So the shirt's not like clearly two different shades. And it's working. The shirt looks like it's one color. Ooh, I'm glad I was able to fix it. And now it's time to add the cotton candy fur. I went into this cake wanting to give our Labubu pink cotton candy fur.
But
Once I had the cotton candy in front of me, I realized just how much pink cotton candy looks like pink cotton candy. I feel like if I use pink, it's going to be the very first thing that anybody notices when they look at the cake. They're gonna be like,
That fur is cotton candy.
it's almost distracting how obvious it is that it's cotton candy. So, we have a change of plans. There are other cotton candy colors to choose from, so I decided to go with a more subtle cotton candy color, less obvious. A color you wouldn't expect cotton candy to be. The cotton candy flavor that I have chosen for this cake is peach tea. I didn't know that peach tea was a cotton candy flavor, but it is. And it's very close to a real Labubu's fur color. I have to taste it. That is a wild smell. It's like fur. I forgot that cotton candy is just sugar. They're so crazy. It really does taste like peach tea. You can taste the tea, but you can also taste the peach. How did they do that? What is this magic? This cake's gonna taste good. I'm like really nervous I'm not gonna get it on the cake fast enough before it starts to melt. That means we gotta work fast. It's sticking to the cake very easily, so that's good. Working fast is one thing, but I don't even know if it's gonna look like fur. Please don't melt. And there you have it, a Labubu cake. I got that cotton candy fur on there as fast as I could, and I love the way it looks. So many details. The ears even look like they have shiny thread. She's so cute. I love that she's wearing Sideserf Cake Studio merch. I'm so glad I ended up going with the peach tea fur. It's hard to tell it's cotton candy. Now let's check the authenticity of this Labubu by doing the light test. Ah, it's just like the real Labubus. Oh, that is so fun. The chocolate face looks awesome. Now let's see if I can move the eyes. Putting marshmallows behind the eyes worked so much better than I thought it would. I can move them in all directions. Now let's cut this Labubu cake before his fur melts. Well, that was fun to cut. I had such a great time making this cake. Let me know what you want to see me making cake next. If you like this video, and subscribe. I'll see you next time for another cake. Labubu, that's kind of creepy.